she's with. Actually, no, she'd be with Odo. So.
Odo's filming quite the posse then.
Pretty much.
Just walking down the street like, ding, 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 quack, quack, ding, ding,
Woof woof.
Woof, 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 woof. Woof, 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 woof. Whack, whack.
Oh, I'm getting Red Dwarf flashbacks. Right. So Tari and Zora head towards basically the city management buildings, which happens to include the office of the Lord. It's fairly busy today. Things are going quite hectically around here at the moment because apparently there's some new laws or something being decreed or some such. And as you manage to pick out the building where you find, or at least where you are fairly certain you will find the offices for what has become the descendant organization of the Order of Marcus, would everyone like to make a reflex save?
Including myself?
Everyone.
Just suddenly, just Mungo from like the floor just backflips. Sure. Where's my reflex?
It would help if I spelled reflex correctly.
What the fuck?
Okay, it's the total, right?
Oh!
Science?
Wrong.
Yes, it is.
Roll,
Yeah, got it right. Okay.
roll 20 is officially the worst, man.
Well,
Hey, it wasn't a natural one at least.
the 20 plus 3.
Also, Cackle, there is a plot. We've just taken a while to get to it, as per usual.
10.
Okay. Tari and Zora, you are fairly okay. Unfortunately, Odo and Mungo, less so, as there is a substantial tremor that passes through the ground beneath you, knocking both Odo, Mungo, Eve, and indeed Odo to the ground. Several market stalls have been shaken loose and their produce is rolling across the ground and all sorts. A number of students around the university have toppled over completely under the weight of their books, and a few windows, more than a few, honestly, have cracked quite substantially.
This is where the GM gets us back
This
on
tremor
track.
lasts for a couple of minutes.
The act of God!
Holy crap.
Things are back on track, guys.
I think it might be another worm, yeah.
Okay, so this tremor was enough to shake the entire city.
At least the areas that you four are in. But
It's
yes.
pretty spread out.
Yeah, considering Mungo's all the way over there.
Considering that like the lightest of like tremors can travel miles, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true, I guess. I just love the chat instantly. Worm!
Worm, Johnny Worm.
Worm!
Worm, guys.
Worm!
Worm!
There's worm down there.
By George, it's another worm.
Mungo's going
People
to...
are understandably like panicked by this turn of events. Although
my God.
honestly not quite as like panicked as you might expect them to be, which is a bit strange. They're just sort of like calmly walking out of the buildings and like assembling and such in like standard emergency protocol, which really isn't saying much because the city has never experienced an earthquake ever before.
Like school drills where you have to go to the parking lot and line up in your class.
Yeah.
Right, so were me and Tari inside at this point?
No, you were outside.
Okay, well...
So we see people just wondering.
Mummy worm.
Okay, so pretty much, obviously, like, well, I'm pretty stable with my freaking 20, so, but I just turn to Tari. Is that what is this normal? Does this happen usually?
This has never happened before.
That has to be we need to get in there now. Come on, let's get in there. We need to get this information clearly as getting...
Yeah, we need to find out as much as we can, really.
Okay, so we head on back in. Well,
Yep.
head on in.
Okay, well, the offices are quite busy, as one can imagine. Is this your way of advancing plots or getting rid of the romantic situation by getting rid of Mungo Odo? I am not going to, like, player kill because of a romantic infatuation issue,
And,
no.
Max, that whole hashtag thing? That's a bit harsh, right?
Wow.
Well, he just joined.
Hmm.
See, in my innocent young mind, I thought that meant he goes first in the roll.
No.
Oh no, he hopes you
Wow,
die.
I am so in
that
depth
is
in this.
very, very innocent.
I am
indeed.
so in depth in this character right now. Wow.
Take opportunity. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm going deeper underground.
Okay, well, Mungo's kind of like still on the floor. Is anybody leaving from the actual carpentry shop?
Doesn't look like it, no.
Okay.
You've kind of like fallen over to the side and bashed your head slightly, so you're gonna take a d4 of damage, but not too much.
Do I roll that?
4 points of damage from falling over onto the...
20. So I'm on 48.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Mungo's probably just going to sit back down, but keep an eye out for anything that looks odd.
Okay. So over to Odo. Dwarves are fairly sturdy, so you haven't fallen flat on your face, but the same cannot be said for Odo, who is not, strictly speaking, a dwarf.
True. In which case, I get myself to my feet, brush off my legs and my chest, and assist Odo back onto his feet. And then run inside.
Odo has bashed their nose.
Oh, it's bleeding. Luckily, Mungo's not around. Is it bleeding? Or is it
Yep.
just bruised? Okay, it's bleeding. In which case...
Dodo takes 1 point of damage.
But now they're unconscious! Oh, Dodo, no. Okay, well... Dodo's now unconscious, I suppose.
Yep.
That ruins the next spell I was going to do.
That could have been fatal.
He could have... Yeah, one more point. You'd have been negatives and bleeding.
Can cure light wounds fix that?
Uh-huh.
So 1 point of damage gets recovered.
Yes. Cure
I will
minor
do-
wounds could fix that, honestly.
Cure minor wounds.
Okay, cure minor wounds. The Odo is okay.
Yeah. Why do I get the feeling I'll be doing that for the rest of the series? Cure.
He's going to die pretty quickly.
Guess who we're gonna feed to the worm?
Bitch. So, Odo regains consciousness and bleeding stops, and I comfort him. As I imagine, he's confused as to what the hell just happened. It's like quack, 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 quack. So I just like hug him. Don't worry, it's fine, don't worry. Okay, you're all right now. Stop your belly aching. Stop it. Just so kind of goes. Just like he's been shouted as a child. It's with that Odo opens the doors of the university, heads towards reception to make sure that the receptionist is okay, because he is worried about her, and it shows that
Okay.
there's a heart inside the store.
Hmm.
I leave Odo at the fountain, splashing around. Now he's it's like, stop it! And then just runs the pond.
Right, well, the university appears to have gotten back into the swing of things fairly quickly. Although a fair few windows are pretty much gutted. Some of the faculty, or at least the janitorial staff, are trying to mend the windows a bit. But other than that, the place is fairly much okay.
Okay.
And as you enter the reception, you note that a different receptionist is now on staff. And He is presently trying his hardest to ensure that everything is in the right order. Evidently, the other receptionist might very well keep a different organizational structure to him, but he is quite happy to receive your inquiry. How may I help you, sir?
Hi there. Where did the other receptionist go?
I'm afraid she's on break. Can I help you at all?
I just want to make sure she's all right. I felt a tremor. Kind of knocked me on the backside, to be honest.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
Oh, very well. She was actually going to get me something. I was wondering if you could assist me in this, since she's on a break at the moment.
What were you after, sir?
I was just after like a kind of a
marriage.
mine handy. I was just after a school sort of timetable. That's the one.
For which department?
For early learning.
I'm afraid we don't have a preschool section, sir.
No, just like basic knowledge of crafts, arts, spells, mathematics, English. The English might help, actually. Everything, basically.
I'm afraid you would be looking at education beneath the level of this university, sir.
What is the minimum this university does?
The minimum that this university does is trade skills level of magic.
That'll be fine.
Have you applied, sir? Are you a current student?
Yes. I'm going to bluff that. What the hell's with my rolls today?
Not as bad as mine.
Please be low. Please. Oh, I hate you.
It's the same, but he had a bonus.
Yeah, otherwise really cool.
Sir, if you are not currently a student at this university, I'm afraid you'll have to apply within the next 3 months.
It wasn't me that's sorry, my cousin. I thought you said it was my cousin that's applied. Currently, student.
I see. And your cousin's name is?
Deodo.
A full name?
Deodo the dwarf.
Deodo the dwarf.
Yes.
And
You mean dwarf?
Dwarf, sorry.
dwarf. Deodo dwarf.
Yes.
One moment, sir, whilst I check my records.
Quick, get naked.
Where does he go to check the records? Is like
He
Yeah,
just
he
like
does
turns to
have
his
a- he
side.
does
He's
have
got
a
like a bundle of
scholarship.
papers that show recent admissions.
would I have
Right.
enough time to scurry under the counter and pick out the timetable from the pile?
Probably not,
Ah.
because you'd have to go all the way around or else vault over the desk,
Ah, fair.
and he hasn't moved from his chair.
Could you not just possibly ask another student for one?
That's my next plan. Find the
Alright,
stoner kids.
if we are going to
Yeah,
continue
dude.
this, I may as well be helpful.
It's a don't resist. Just
Just let
Get
it
it.
happen.
Quick, Zora, make me invisible again.
I am nowhere near you.
I've only started watching today, so I have no idea what's happened before this. The Pole 40k, you're in for a wild ride.
Right. Okay, right. If you want to know where, you can watch it all on this Twitch or on my YouTube under the same name. I can't really sit here and go through the entire story.
You...
ducks.
Yeah, ducks were involved.
Basically, there was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to try there. There was a giant worm, attacked the city, kind of took care of it, trying to find out the location of it. That's pretty much what we're doing.
No, we're trying to find out how it came to be.
Yeah, how it came here. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the like really simplified version.
Yeah.
So. Continue.
Got some tricks there.
All I can think of is the worm in the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there.
Who are you?
You're nearly Alice. You're not quite her yet. Anyways. So, yeah, you can't, like, unless you vault over the desk or, like, run around the sides of it, you're not going to be able to, like, scurry and grab stuff.
Very well.
So he spends a few moments just sort of leafing through his documents. I'm afraid I don't see a Deodo Dwark in this listing, sir. Are you sure there are students at this university?
Have
Yes,
a scholarship.
they don't have a scholarship.
No,
They're
they got
going-
a scholarship. They got a scholarship to the university, didn't they?
They didn't.
You did in the last session.
No, he was just going there to attain a scholarship, which didn't go well.
He didn't actually succeed
Yeah,
in,
Oh, okay,
in
fair enough.
anything last.
and anything. Apart from groping the receptionist, that's all I succeeded in, and getting lost in the place. He should be on the listings. Could it be that the other receptionists use a different filing system than you?
Well, this is very true. However, I should have a record of any recent admissions here.
The admission wasn't exactly recent. It was.
How recent have they been admitted?
I believe it was 5 months ago.
No, my records should go that far back. At this point, you notice that the stack of admissions is approximately 12 pages long.
I mean, a year.
Nice.
1 year,
Could you roll-
1 month. On the
Could
premise
you roll
that one-
bluff?
on the premise that 1 page is a year, or a month even. It's 1 year, 1 month ago.
No, 1 year, 1 day.
Oh come on! What the hell? No matter what you get, you got a +4.
Hey, that one would have still helped you. You could have had a massive brain fart. Anyways, sir, I'm afraid I cannot divulge the timetables of classes used by the students here unless you are a current student or unless you are the parent of a student. And even then, I require some express permission.
Very well. Well, thank you for your help, I suppose. Could you direct me to where the nearest canteen is? Need to get some food.
I believe you'll be able to find some food in the market district, sir.
Nothing local in here.
I'm afraid the campus facilities are for predominantly students only.
What about library?
The library, sir?
Yes. Is
Which
there a
one?
library? Just one for spells, mainly.
I'm afraid arcane knowledge is kept strictly in the lecture materials, sir.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. So with that, I turn and walk away. Because, damn it.
You really are being a spoil spot this session.
I'm not trying to. It's not like I'm trying to spoil the goals and objectives of someone whose main strategy there was to molest and accost a receptionist,
Exactly! Alright.
and then attempt to roofie them with a ring of magic.
It wasn't a roofie ring! God, I wasn't knocking them out here.
You're attempting to force them to like you after you sexually assaulted them.
Zora
It was an
approaches the desk.
infatuation ring. Zora, no. Everyone's approaching the desk.
No, not that desk.
Okay.
Ooh, another kitty.
Yeah.
Two
I got
kitties.
2.
Yay.
So
You're not
one
having one,
is
McCashin.
currently trying to investigate a moth inside of my light shade.
Aww.
He can't reach it. Silly Billy.
Okay, so Zora and Tari are presently inside of the maintenance section. Or the maintenance department. Let's see. There we are. So you are in the Department of Marcus Repairs, part of the Greater City Maintenance Works. And people are mostly just sort of hurrying, sort of leisurely, honestly, around the area to find various blueprints and the like of the underground sections of the city that might have been damaged by that recent tremor.
Hang on.
There's a couple of people who look like they might be in charge.
Okay, so there's a couple of. Okay, so there's people. Sorry, say that again. There's people like pouncing around trying to figure it. Are they? Does it look like they're heading out to it, or are they just planning?
Currently they're just like working out where they should check first
Okay.
because it just happened.
Is there a group of them sort of gathering at all?
There's like 6 or 7 different groups.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll approach the nearest person in that I can assume to be in charge, who's not too involved.
Okay, well, you managed to find a rather thin, medium-height gentleman with, like, sort of pure white hair, sort of like spiked up. Seems to be dressed rather gentlemanly, and he has something of a snarl on his face and slightly bushy white eyebrows. Appears to be human for the large point, although his ears, you note, are pointed slightly.
Okay. Okay. Well, I approach and just try to just gingerly grab his attention. Sir.
Yes.
Is it at all? I noticed that a lot of that. This you seem to be almost planning to go into the sewer section. Is it possible that we could assist you? We have specific business from higher up in the city to investigate the recent tremors.
I don't think you'll find very much good checking those out. Unfortunately, we do, of course, have a fair variety of people checking them out, but we can't really say what could be the matter just yet.
Well, that is pretty much. Well, that's pretty much our job. We need to find out what's causing this as well. Also, if it is possible, as I mentioned, we are working for a higher up in the city. Is it possible that we could see or even have a copy of some of the I'm trying to think of the word, schematics of the sewers?
I'm afraid that information is beneath your purview.
Glutes.
But if there's anything I could perhaps trade with you for the information, then perhaps I could find my way to locating it in an expedient manner.
Un momento, people. Glutes has done a drawing.
Oh?
Oh, I will grab that. Okay, hold on.
Oops.
While I figure out what to trade.
If anybody here happens to, like, enjoy stories of the Fae in the chat, they might want to start panicking now.
Oh, good lord! I'm not going to have to trade my soul or something, am I?
No, not your soul. At least not as you expect it to be.
Don't offer a favour.
Can I step in and use my diplomacy here?
Such a poor joke. I don't get paid enough. Is it on stream yet?
It's just come on the stream now.
Mhm.
Very nice. No.
He's so adorable.
So sweet.
Okay, I seem to be the only one not really knowing. So
Right, I'm going to use my diplomacy and tell this
Okay.
scheming whatever he is that we're on official business for the government or whatever it is that we're under.
if do you want to actually mention the Lord or just like a higher?
No,
higher
I
official?
can't mention the Lord.
At this
Just
point.
like
So at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Actually,
Mention it.
So you bring that up, and I'm gonna mention him because I actually don't know that you can't mention him.
Ah, good point.
So you're saying, oh, okay, we were with the government, etc. Oh, the Lord, yeah, we're doing this under the Lord's commands.
Guys, 1 second. How do you delete messages on Twitch?
I think,
You time them out or you ban them.
yeah.
Okie dokie.
Continue. Okay. Has been banned 2 times. Nice. Okay.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
So what? Anyway. So yeah. While so Tari, forget it. Tari brings up her point. So
Yeah. I'm gonna roll for that.
okay. So
If
she's gonna roll.
I'm allowed
diplomacy
to.
Okay.
Would that work in that situation?
Roll diplomacy. Yeah.
I think it's that one. Just check. Yep.
Oh, by the way, muffins. In future, just ban.
Oh.
I don't do timeouts.
Okie dokie.
That one.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh. So how are you going to roleplay this one then? What is Tyree saying to the man?
I think you'll find we're on official business, and you will let us be part of this group, or at least show us the plans.
Official business, you say? I dare say it's been quite some time since we've had anyone on official business in here. You must be quite important indeed.
I just want to say, quite some time since they've had someone on official business in the offices of the Lord.
This isn't the offices of the
Yeah.
Lord. This is the this is the office of Marcus Repairs.
I thought it was in the offices of the Lord. I was like,
Okay.
Well-
Okay. Look, it's not that bad. If it doesn't work, proceed to beheading. God,
Out
people,
of interest, how does the charm person thing work?
Charm person, it makes them perceive you as their friend.
How does it work? I mean, well, that as well, but I mean, physically, what do I do?
What do you mean
If I was to-
physically?
If I was to cast it, what would I do?
Oh, you're talking about the components then.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So am I going to be sitting there shouting "Ooga Booga," or am I gonna, just my eyes going to glow slightly?
Charm person does include verbal and somatic components, so yes, there will be some gestures and some magic words spoken,
Okay.
which would give people,
Energy,
especially in this particular department, time to like spellcraft and figure out what you're
Yeah.
casting.
Not gonna do that.
yeah.
Philogy, epigee, helity.
Right.
Okay, well, you got me all. Chats and you got me all worried now because I don't know what the bloody hell's going on right now. I just guess I'm just. No, I would.
Since you apparently have
Can I-
some
so can I
degree of
roll
information.
Can I roll sense motive on this guy then?
Go
Try
ahead,
that.
go ahead.
I'm gonna do something.
Alright.
26.
Okay, you feel that you should be tremendously wary around this gentleman.
Everyone's telling me to run. Okay. Okay, so so with that sort of very sinister retort towards the paladin, Zora's sort of overcome slightly. He's I guess he kind of does that sort of thing of we must have. You know, we'll come back another time, sort of thing. Yeah, we'll find. It's okay. Sorry to disturb. That's backing away, that sort of thing. Just sort of backs to Tari, and just sort of like nudges to go the other way to somebody else.
Okay.
Hmm.
If you get what I mean.
Mhm. I got the feeling like he was one of those sleazy guys that
Yeah.
only does something if he gets something in return.
Well, to be honest, from what I'm gathering, he wants my soul. So I mean, I have a funny feeling I have a sneaky
Well,
inclination
no, they
of what's going
say.
to happen, but I don't think so. I think it's more type. I think the chat kind of went
Okay,
mad with
fair
it.
enough.
Okay, so can you describe the room at the moment, like in a bit more detail?
Okay, the room is fairly normal. It's just sort of laid out. It's sort of here are desks, here are drawers, here's lots of files and paperwork, that kind of thing. It's just sort of arrayed in a fairly ordinary kind of section. There's a couple arcane artifact, like an abacus or a candelabra or that kind of thing. There's just sort of like a pendants hanging off certain chairs and a fair few like robes that are aligned with various sigils. Purely because this is the office that deals with the big magic things around the city. And the gentleman that you've just been talking to is just eyeing you cautiously with his like a hand to his mouth, but not really like doing very much with it. He's just sort of like occasionally casually turning back to see what everyone else around him's doing. And occasionally a group of 3 or 4 people will go out carrying some large tube, which you presume to be a blueprint of some description, to go off and check if something is okay. But by and large, the place is fairly quiet, relatively calm, and just sort of like going about business more or less like any other day when there'd just been some kind of emergency call.
See, the thing is, with the place, this the kind of place that this is. I am so scared to use any form of magic. Like, normally in this case, I would probably just say, right, I go out of the way, cast invisibility, and sneak in, and try and find them that way. But I'm sure they're very knowledgeable about this sort of thing. Also, I'm not sure if that's what he'd do anyway. If anyone has any suggestions, well, because I'm trying to think of how to handle this.
Yeah, I'm not too sure where to go from here.
Because we can't really go. Again, we can't really. The only thing I can think of is trying somebody else. But if they are all like that dude,
Yeah, it's...
then I'm getting the sudden sense of trap.
There is virtually
trap.
nobody in this room that looks remotely like the gentleman.
Oh, okay. So he's pretty much just. I managed to single out
The only one. Yeah.
the single one.
Alright.
Well, he looks to be in charge, in fairness.
Okay. Is it just one? Is it one pretty big small room, or does it sort of go off into other sections and?
It's sort of medium-sized. I think like sort of a large dining room, kind of in scale.
Okay, pretty so reasonably small then. Okay. I'm going to probably suggest then that we, to Terry, that we possibly try to get out of earshot of that guy and maybe try and ask somebody else and see how they do it, see how they do with it.
I would agree with this, just because we don't have to want to deal with someone like that.
Sad thing is, I'm kind of interested in what this deal was. I guess that'll be last resort. Okay, so I'll look around.
What's with Terry and wanting Terry to slay everyone? Seriously, guys.
Just remember the time you beheaded a guy.
Yeah, in self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense.
I think that's excessive violence.
Zora backs away at hearing about this decapitation. Anyway, right, okay, so there's lots of groups. Can I try and sort of intercept like somebody maybe moving from one area to the other, or?
Okay. As you wait, you manage to spot a rather thin gentleman with sort of like wavy black hair, just sort of barging through a few of the crowds. A bit more difficult with his frame, with one of the large tubes as he's heading out on a little like check on something.
Okay. I'll kind of do that whole walk and talk thing. So
Okay.
not gonna just step in front of him and demand he stop. So I'm just gonna sort of walk and talk. It's just, can you get some information about what's just happened?
And terribly sorry, sir. I am quite busy. As you see, I'm really trying very hard to get through to the businesses. I'm afraid everyone has gone quite doolally, it seems, today, and we really have quite a bit to do.
Well, please, I don't want to stop you. We're on official business and we need the information pretty promptly. Of course, I don't want to stop you doing your business. Is it okay if I just ask you these while you continue your work?
Yes. Come along. It's not that difficult. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. As I mentioned, we're on official business, and we're trying to find out the whole source of these tremors. We believe we know what they are, but we believe the source might be something under in the sewers, and we really need to see, or at least get details of possible structures, or maybe I'm trying to think of the word. What would you call like I don't know. I guess a structure underneath the ground. I guess in the
Foundations.
sewers. Yeah, the foundations of the sewers, or like if there's